Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Chola by Bhabani.
Well, I guess if you say so, I'll have to take a thing and go.
That's right, hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
What you say?
Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
Well,
Don't you come back no more.
what you say?
Don't you come back no more.
I didn't understand.
Don't you come back no more.
You can't mean that.
Don't you come back.
Once more. Already once more.
Hashtag Restart Fashion, where 3 post-consumer waste fabric makers collaborated with 3 talented designers. We had Anandi Enterprises with Chola, that's Sohaya Mishra. We had Converse India with Doodlage, and we had Gitanjali Woolens with Anuj Bhatani. A wonderful show with a very interesting concept, and especially when you add a hashtag to anything, it starts a revolution, a movement of sorts. And on Sustainable Fashion Day, which is today for Lakme Fashion Week, it was doing exactly that. I'd like to pass over the mic to Mr. Jaspreet Chandok, VP and Head of IMGR Fashion, to please talk about what this wonderful show was about and collaborating with 6 talented designers.
Hello. Firstly, it's 3 talented designers and 3 organizations that work with post-consumer waste, and it's Doodlage. Thought I'd and then I have to start correcting everybody's pronunciation here. But I think there are 2 things that the Lakme Fashion Week really has stood for the longest time, and what IMG Reliance feels is the future. One is young designers. We run we run the largest designer discovery program in the country, which is Gen Next. We've had some great exponents of that who have come over the years. And we are now taking that next step by supporting young designers to tell stories, and stories around sustainable fashion. So like we did in the 12 o'clock show, where we put young designers with young artisans, here the whole idea was to take some great young minds and apply them to the tenets of sustainable fashion, reimagining how post-consumer waste fabrics can be used in a more contemporary way. And eventually, once you start contemporizing usage, that's when the business of fashion also increases. And that's really where we are coming from. And we are glad to have partnered with these lovely young minds. Makes me sound very old when I say lovely young minds, but thank you, and it was just a fantastic show. So.
Kriti, we saw a lot of patchwork in your presentation. We'd love to hear from you about what was the concept and inspiration behind that when you were working on such a collection.
So Doodlage as a brand has always been working with post-production waste. Each of our garment takes up scraps from industrial, mass production units and work around that. That comes with a lot of challenges, but it was great to partner, on Sustainability Day for the same. The idea behind Patchwork was to represent the urban chaos that we are all living in at the moment. And the floral details on top of each of the garments sort of represented for me that hope that everybody can still look within and still sort of work towards a better future.
So, hi, I want to actually ask you a question. Why relaxed fashion? I mean, you look really comfortable, and I love the way Adhuna's complete attire looks, but why relaxed fashion? I mean, why did you go for that concept?
Whoever chose being uncomfortable over being comfortable. Yeah, I mean, it's all about being relaxed. I think it's all about putting on an outfit and not having to think about it. And that's why, that's who I am, and that's how I dress, and so I have to make my clothes like that. Otherwise, I'm not being true to my thought.
So, any particular reason why Adhuna? I mean, it's a very fierce outfit. It's totally edgy. I mean, what was this concept like? Like, why did you choose
Because you're
this?
describing her, she's fierce, she's edgy, she's independent, and she's a woman every woman strives to be or wants to be. Or, I mean, she's like an example someone sets, you know?
Yeah.
And she's fun, and you saw her like
Yeah.
movie on stage. It's not about taking things seriously, it's about having fun with everything, and that's including fashion. But just being a little more aware of making it sustainable, I think, is the key.
I think it was really fun to have that little jig towards the end because Adhuna, that is so your personality. I mean, whenever we've managed to catch a glimpse of your life or managed to see the person that you are, that actually comes through so beautifully. What are your thoughts on, spotting Sohaya Mishra?
Well, sporting a Sohaya, a Chola, is definitely something I've been doing for many years. The fact that she believes in being relaxed is something I'm totally aligned with. I don't believe in being uncomfortable in what I'm wearing at all. And I think the fact that we're talking about sustainability, that's also something that's extremely dear and important to me. So props to Lakme Fashion Week for doing that.
Thank you so much. I'd like to open the floor to the media to ask their set of questions. Could we get a couple of questions from media?
Hi, I wanted to ask about layering. How different is the treatment of layering in this season?
Asking me?
For both of you.
I can tell you about hair layering.
I don't know. I don't actually follow a trend. For me, I just do different shades. I don't know. For me, I just think in layers. I don't think it goes season to season. For me, I start with one piece, and the next piece is like a gradual progression from it, and then it goes on like that from there. And to layer is just something I love to do. I mean, you don't have to layer it, but you can if you want to. So there's no real thought that goes that much into it. It's just per piece, I guess.
Can you take us through what Adhuna is wearing?
Is it that complicated? So it's basically a pair of trousers. It's free size because you can tie it up. It flaps over, and she's wearing a shirt. That we basically free cut. And once we free cut it, we cut it a little further and just, untechnique the living daylights out of it.
How about you?
Layering for doodlage has always been, a trend per se. It's something that works for our garments really well. We've always worked in each of our outfit are very individual, but at the same time, they're always put together. It doesn't matter from what season I'm coming from. It's always, again, being relaxed about what you're wearing and just going with the flow of the day. So you can have one look day to night kind of a thing. I think, patchwork specifically is very personal to, it's also something that cannot move away from doodlage क्योंकि जो हमारे पास कपड़ा आता है वो इतने ज़्यादा टुकड़ों में आता है कि हम पैचवर्क के सिवाय और कोई ट्रीटमेंट मतलब कि से दूर नहीं जा सकते तो हमें चीज़ों को पैच करके जोड़ के उसके ऊपर कहाँ दिक्कतें थी किस वजह से वो रिजेक्ट हुआ था कंपनीज़ में उसके बाद उस पर एम्ब्रॉयडरी करनी पड़ती है तो anybody who is working for doodlage even from your tailor to your embroider they are very they've learned with doodlage कि हमारे साथ किस तरह का aesthetics काम करता है किस तरह के designs काम करते हैं किस तरह के रंग एक साथ काम करते हैं तो चाहे वो एक कारीगर हो चाहे वो एक डिज़ाइनर हो इस समय जितने लोग मेरे लिए अपसाइकलिंग करते हैं उन सब का aesthetic इस तरह से डेवलप हो चुका है कि वो खुद ही पैच वर्क कर लेते हैं, उसके ऊपर एम्ब्रॉयडरीज की जो सेटिंग्स हैं वो हर बार ही चेंज होती रहती हैं. जिस तरफ दिक्कतें हैं उस तरफ ज़्यादा एम्ब्रॉयडरी हो जाती है. पर दीज आर डिज़ाइन डेवलपमेंट्स दैट कम up whenever we are designing each of our piece, which is why every piece that we design looks a little different from the first one.
Adhuna, how was it walking the runway?
Well, I don't know how I always manage to get myself into this, actually. But I have friends in high places, and they always kind of twist my arm. I love Chola's clothes. I mean, it's something I've always worn. I feel very comfortable in it. I love the look. And it's not my favorite thing to be up in front of the camera and all that, but like, a girl's got to do what a girl's got to do.
And
Who made you here?
My team, well, somebody from my team, I went visited my salon before I came here.
Does this define your personal style as well?
I don't think there's any definition to that. It's constantly changing and hopefully evolving.
Do we have any other questions? Okay, thank you.